Yeah. There's no glare. Oh, is this where we've gone? I started, yeah. Oh my god, what's the cause? People following and trending like they know it all. Do they know it all? Oh my god, what a fall. From praising to the Lord and double clicking on it all. Is this where we've gone? Yeah. Oh my god, what's the cause? People following and trending like they know it all. Do they know it all? Oh my god, what a fall. From praising to the Lord and double clicking on it all. Is this where we've gone? Yeah. With my little eyes, can't lie if you gotta take it by side. She makes you worth it, we're in perspective. Look how they built a generation, acting out they wanna be like Dobrik.
Hey, what you saying on the new addiction?
Okay, what it became a new religion. There's just 2 billion Christians, the number of people scrolling, more frequent than Bible reading. A revolution beginning, modernity kept us failing. Revive the institution, be fooled by fabrications. Or deep fixing the mixture, get some generated picture. Seen those fucking hands get full and then upset. How the Pope is piled out, well that's the system got you mad. Yeah, pause for a minute before I'm too caught up with it. Who's telling the truth, can't see it. Even seeing and can fake it. Maybe out here in the matrix, a world made out of ditches. What could be the definition? Left with nothing but religion, yeah. Oh my god, what's the cause? People following a trend like they know it all. So do they know it all? Oh my god, what a fall. From praising to the Lord and double clicking on it all. Is this where we're gone? Yeah. Oh my god, what's the cause? People following a trend like they know it all. Do they know it all? Oh my god, what a fall. From praising to the Lord and double clicking on it all. Is this where we've gone? Yeah. This is where we go. Yeah. I start to see no clear. This is where we go. I start to see no clear. This is where we've gone. I start to see all clear. This is where we've gone. I start to see all.
All right, welcome to Monday Sounds. Today we have Achi for the first episode. He's just performed his new single that's going to be out next month. Achi, why don't you tell us all about your new single and the story behind it?
Yeah, so the new single, it's the name, I call it Noigiler. So it came from it's basically, it's pretty stupid, but it's the flip side of the word religion. So basically the song talks about social media, the internet, and religion. And the reason why it's one day it's pretty, I was talking to one of my friends, and it's pretty interesting because we think there's a lot of like big internet personnels and stuff now, and they kind of feels like with the followers they have, it feels like kind of like a religion. It's like everyone is like following them, doing what they do, especially like maybe like the Kardashians. So it kind of resembles like what a religion is like, and that's why I think it's kind of fun if we put the two things together. So the song kind of talks about a bit on AI as well, because I think that's like a big trend that people kind of like are following as well. But then, yeah, so the whole song kind of talks about these kind of modern problems, I think. Yeah, and I think it's just interesting how the modern days turns into this.
Yeah, I think that's really topical, especially just the combination of everything. I think everyone's striving to kind of be part of a community now, but it does get a little bit tribal with people attaching too much to a certain type of community instead of being maybe a bit more broad-minded as well. Now, I think I found you on Instagram in terms of your last single, 66.
Yep.
And I think what drew me to 66 was the music video.
Ah, yeah.
Such a good music video.
Thanks.
Like, it's a great piece of work. Could you tell us about how you made that? And
yep. So for the music video of my last single, I made it with one of my friends. Shout out to Chef Wes. He's like one of the guys who's doing a lot of cool cooking videos right now. He's on Instagram if anyone's interested. But yeah, so we basically partnered on that music videos, and the idea was because the song talks about kind of my upbringing. So I kind of spend some of my time in England, in Brighton, in London, and some of my days in Hong Kong when I was younger. And I feel like growing up into these two places with like a certain length of time gives me kind of like a deja vu, like in terms of like the cultural differences in between the two places, and especially some of them are pretty conflicting. I think sometimes it's like they tell you to do one thing in one place, so like maybe they tell you like you have to be obliged to some rules when you're in a like Chinese society, but then when you goes into like a more westernized society, they was like feel free to do whatever you want. It's just things like this. It's like a lot of things that makes me kind of not quite sure what should I do when I've grown in these two places. So that the song kind of talks about this. And so for the music videos, I kind of went through a lot of places that contains a specific military green color in Hong Kong. So a cool story about that military green color, which we always see on the tram, on the ferries and stuff. That color kind of came down, became like a iconic Hong Kong color, because back in the days post-war, a lot of those war paint kind of got brought into Hong Kong, and people were kind of poor, so they use a lot of that war paint to kind of improvise with it, with their shops and with like the trams and everything. And I feel like it's really cool how like this history kind of made it into like a iconic moment in Hong Kong, and that kind of I would say kind of resonates with my story in terms of like how the whole history blends between, especially because me kind of grew up in a British society as well, and this color kind of represent the history as well. So I think it's pretty cool, the whole thing intertwines.
Yeah, that's a really good story behind it as well. I think because that's what drew me to it was the green, the white, and the green is really iconic in Hong Kong with the red and the white as well, and it's a really creative idea for your music video, and I thought it's just such a good video, and especially when you do the long shots when you're on the tram and you're walking around the city. That was a really interesting just way to kind of portray that with the video.
Because I always try to kind of highlight that green color on different things, like so. Trying to capture that with me, and me as like more like a side cast to it, and letting it to shine.
Yeah, and I think you probably represent quite a lot of Hong Kongers of your generation when you grow up in like a culture clash.
Yeah.
For you, it's Hong Kong, and growing up in the UK, spending some time there.
Yeah.
And there is this uniqueness to Hong Kong in terms of that culture clash when it comes to expectations or tradition as well. So I think it's really interesting that you made the song 66. You got the video with the military green as well. That combined really nicely for that piece of work, not just the song but the video as well. If we take it back to the beginning and like the start of Atchi and your first release, Sketch Tape Volume 1, which I really liked, more instrumental, would you say, at the beginning? And then what I'd like to know is how you kind of took yourself away from perhaps being in bands before and then shaped your sound around for this first volume sketch tape.
So I think for my first project, it's more like a play around for me. So it's more like a playground kind of thing. So I think it was a few years back when me and my bandmate got kind of stuck with like the whole band situation. So we kind of decided to play around with stuff that we like and sounds that interest us and try to do something with it. And so for me, I remember the first thing that I did, it's on my computer, I set up a folder that's called Practice Book. So it's like, it's just a practice for me. It's just like trying to get better at arranging, get better at production and stuff. So it's just a play around on stuff that it might not sound good, but just fun for me. So it kind of accumulates up with like the numbers in terms of like different projects. So I think it went up to like 50 projects that I made. And a lot of those are just really weird instrumental, kind of, it's a bit of everywhere. And that's why I think it's, the project kind of came around that place. So I kind of selected a few. I think that those are better ones that may contain some sampling that I like, because I like to do sampling a lot. And a lot of fun stuff, maybe some play around with some guitars or some synths and everything, and kind of just put everything together into a project that I call Sketch Tape, because it's like I'm not quite sure what it is. Like, so it's just putting in a same place in one place and trying to put it out to see what people think about it.
Yeah, and I think the single or the track, How Do You Know? Is it How
Do I Know? I think.
Do I Know?
Yeah.
A great track and just like really catchy, but like short but sweet. But it is like that sketch tape is like a collection of sounds that you seem to kind of brought together. You see familiar guitar sounds that kind of loop in and out different songs as well. And then that leads us to your next record, Brief Moment of You.
Yeah.
And that was a more collaboration piece.
Yep. So that piece, it started off with I'm trying to do something different back in that time. I think I quit my job at that point. So I was trying to explore being like more full time into art or into music. What exactly do you do with it? So for me, I took some time off into a place called Cheongsa in Lantau Island, and that place is really peaceful and stuff. And one of my friends actually lived there, and so I kind of camp nearby in a campsite, which he gives me a lot of supplies and stuff. But he did the filming as well for the videos for it. So the whole project kind of circulates in kind of being like more collaborative to this place to see what kind of ideas will come up. So when I went into Cheongsa, I brought a few projects with me, which is some projects I accumulated through the time, I think through last year, which with different people and getting like samples from them, getting collaborative ideas that we did together and actually finish it there. So soaking in all the environment and like the nature and see what kind of stuff it will shape it into. And the 5 tracks that I did on there, I just completed everything there apart from the mixing. So I did a mixing afterwards, but all the creative process is there. And yeah, so it's kind of like it's capturing the moment there. So that's why it's called like a brief moment. It's like a 2 weeks time, just how the music will kind of shapes the journey and stuff. Yeah,
I like that. And that was did Mute Paper
document that? So Mute Paper, it's really cool because I do a lot of surfing as well. So sometimes I do surfing in Cheongsa. And with Mute Paper, because they are a magazine media kind of place that captures a lot of surfing community in Hong Kong. And that's why my friend Lee Kai-ho, that's the guy in Mute Paper, who does the filming stuff. So yeah, that's the whole project kind of collaborates in terms of the final piece with the visuals and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, small world because I surf at Cheongsa
right.
during the summer months, and I follow Mute Paper, my seaside park, just to see what the waves are like.
Right.
And then when I was looking at your stuff online on YouTube, I saw Mute Paper, and they documented your 2-week retreat for that record.
So it's like a surfing community thing.
Yeah, but it's like, again, great when you're putting yourself into a community. I think you'd be surprised, especially your first record was more solo, then branched out collaborative as well in like a period of time. It's kind of, you get to see both ways to make a record, because when you're a solo artist, you'll have a catalogue like 50 songs that you haven't finished. And it's really hard to finish them. But when you work with people, there's that extra incentive. You got a little bit more time to kind of finish these songs. And if you put almost a time limit on it, you don't force creativity. But you just kind of unlock different ideas and you can be really productive. So that leads us to your next single coming out in August. Do you have any like live shows lined up or any special music videos in production?
So live shows, I think there's one in August, late August. I'll be playing in the CT Fest. So CT is like a venue in Central that it's like a small place. They do a lot of jazz and stuff in there. So they're doing a festival in Central late August. And then I think early September, I'll be doing a show in Salon 10. So that's another kind of live house place in Central. And yeah, those are the shows that are lined up so far, yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for
very much
coming in, being the first one on Monday Sounds.
Thanks for having me, actually. Yeah,
I'll get better at presenting, I'm sure, over time. I'm not so nervous, but yeah, thank you for coming in.
Cool.
And
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll cut it.
Cool.